Hello folks, welcome back to Canada's Boxing Channel. So, with, a day and change to go before the Canelo fight, on the undercard we have Martin Bakole and EFE Ajagba. Now, I talked about them in my video where I was previewing most of the card, including, of course, Canelo and William Scholl. But I watched this evening the press conference that they were all having, and I was struck by the heated exchange between Martin Bakole and EFE Ajagba. Now, as I pointed out in my previous video, this is a little bit of an African derby, if you like. One of them, Bakole, hails from the Democratic Republic of Congo, previously called Zaire, the home of the Rumble in the Jungle, 1974. And the other hails originally from Nigeria. Now, Bakole boxes out of Airdrie in Scotland, the King of Scotland. And I know my good friend Andy at Andy's Cavern is rooting for him. And EFE Ajagba boxes out of Texas, Stafford in Texas. Very comparable record. I've talked about the record before. 21-2 for Bakole. Losses to Joseph Parker, which you've got to put an asterisk against it, right? And lost to Michael Hunter. And EFE Ajagba, only one loss, 20 wins. He lost to Frank Sanchez back in 2021, something like that. Anyhow, there's a little bit of needle between these guys. Let me preface this by saying, these days in boxing, it is very hard to tell if needle or beef is real or fake. It seems that everybody seems to have some sort of beef in order to be able to sell a fight. With that caveat in place, this one did seem to have a little bit of reality to it. EFE Ajagba was claiming that, he wants to be Africa's number one. That, in other words, the number one fighter from Africa. Or of African ethnicity, I suppose. Anyhow, that's something that Martin Bakole took umbrage with. And there was a lot of, you're talking this, you're talking that, and whatever. There was a good line. Bakole said, "Your brother Joshua knows all about it." And at first I was like, EFE Ajagba has a brother? And I realized, not necessarily blood relation brother, but brother of African, specifically Nigerian heritage, Anthony Joshua, who Bakole has long claimed to have bettered in Bakole's classic sparring career. Because as we all know, Martin Bakole is the sparring king of the world. And he has, on numerous occasions, he has deviated from the code of not speaking about what goes on in the gym stays in the gym. Martin Bakole and his trainer-manager, Billy Nelson, have often spoken about Martin's prowess in sparring. And one of his alleged sparring conquests was over Anthony Joshua. So then there was a lot of this, you're talking SHIT, you're talking SHIT, back and forth. There was some, you're bringing out the beast in me, which they were, they were looking very, powerful. Incidentally, the look, Martin Bakole is clearly come into some money. He was dressed in some very nice togs. It looked like a Louis Vuitton cap, and I'm not sure what the brand the shirt was, but he had a very nice shirt done up right up to the neck, his muscles bulging everywhere, and he had some, gold on him. Not massive blingy kind of stuff, but he was certainly, he'd been shopping, should we say. EFE Ajagba was in what can best be described as Saudi dress. He was adopting the full-on Arabic headdress and everything. I actually always thought that was called cultural appropriation. For example, you're not allowed to have your kids dress up like cowboys and Indians now. That's frowned upon. But clearly, wearing somebody else's cultural clothing when you're in Saudi Arabia is fine. Certainly look very comfortable and no doubt works very well for the hot weather. Better than that t-shirt that Martin Bakole was wearing, which incidentally I think he ought to have bought a couple of sizes bigger because it was a wee bit tight. But then again, he is a very large man. Difficult to tell what his weight will be. Big is the only description I can use. EFE Ajagba is going to look the much smaller man in the ring, I would expect. And it got to some discussion about small body, big engine. EFE Ajagba was saying, I've got a small body with a big engine. Small is a very relative term. He's 6'6", for heaven's sake, and he won't be coming in looking like an emaciated greyhound, that's for sure. And he was saying that Martin Bakole had a big body and small engine, and Martin Bakole was not pleased with that, and was, there was lots of, don't mess with me, and, don't push me, don't, like a lot of that. A lot of, come on Saturday or Sunday, come on Sunday, I guess it is there. EFE Ajagba said nobody wanted to fight you, but I've always wanted to fight you. So it'll be good. I had predicted that Martin Bakole, provided he doesn't weigh, sort of like, I don't know, some massive amount, and this is important, he hasn't had negative psychological effects really from being dropped by Joseph Parker. I thought he would prevail. But I had a word from a boxing aficionado by the name of Joe Stunner, who thought that EFE Ajagba might knock out Martin Bakole. So I have a lot of respect for Joe's opinions on these things. So who knows, right? It should be a good fight. I'm looking forward to it. It might actually be my most favoured fight on that particular card. I always would like to see Canelo, especially, he's not got that many years left in him. Though, having said that, the son in the States is reporting that his wife wants him to carry on boxing until he's 40 so that kids can see, him. So who knows, right? Anyways, yes, I digress. But no, this one should be a good fight. And if this is a bit of a real beef, a bit of, neighboring countries taking a jab at each other, it could be quite spicy. Anyways, it's one to watch. Thank you very much on the subject of for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Please like, please share, please subscribe. We'll onwards and upwards. It's like, climbed a mountain, now we're going to climb another one, right? Anyways, see you on the next video. Cheers.